Good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Thursday, April 17th, 2025. And forgive me if you can hear the truck in the background there. They're doing a little bit of maintenance work on here on the Honour Avenue here in Mount Macedon. Got to keep the tourists happy. They are everywhere at the moment. And I can't blame them really, because such a beautiful site, this avenue, plus the weather is just absolutely beautiful. And of course it's Easter weekend coming up, so plenty of people around. Now, before we start today, I've got a story for you. If you didn't hear last week, my keys, I'll quickly tell the story about my keys, my car keys. And I had my work key and my house key on it as well as the car keys. And the other morning I had to quickly go, I left my camera in the car overnight, so I had to quickly go out in the morning. Neil was halfway down the driveway, so I got my camera out and just left the keys on my wife's car. She had to take my son to work, and the keys were still on the back of the car. So off she went to work. About 10 kilometres away is where he works. Well, I just sort of given up on the keys. I thought, there's no way in hell, there's thousands of people around, cars everywhere. They would have ended up on the road and someone's obviously picked them up or whatever. And my wife Tara is very, very stubborn, and she wouldn't let it go. She walked probably a couple of kilometres the other day looking for them. She's driven around everywhere. She just wouldn't give up. And she said to me the other night, right, I've got a feeling, I've just got a feeling I know where they are, because I've gone around the corner at this roundabout and I'm pretty sure they were there. And I said, babe, just give it up. They're not there. It's been about 5 days. Just forget about it. So on the way to work yesterday, she picked this spot and she went there, and guess what she found? The keys. Yep, she spotted them. She was going around the roundabout on the side of the road. She spotted them, and there they were, the keys, nearly a week later. And it would have been literally thousands of cars that have gone through there. And look, they were a little bit banged up. I reckon they've fallen on the road and they've been run over, but they still work, no drama. Well, the main key for the car was a little bit banged up, but the other keys, well, they're only just normal keys, so they were okay. The other one was one of those ones that, you know, it's a little bit chunkier and locks everything and works everything with the car. So there you go. Never give up. And my wife, as I said, is very, very stubborn. And when she had it locked in her mind that that's where they were, she just wouldn't give up. And hadn't it been for her, I wouldn't have had them, because there's no way. I just said, babe, they're gone. They're gone. Just forget about it. And there they are, back in our possession, or my possession, the keys to my car, house and business. So there you go. A good news story to start the day. All right, on to some other matters. Let's get on to the boxing. This is a boxing show after all. On this day, April 17th, 1967, Madison Square Garden in New York, Italian Nino Benvenuti defeated the great Emil Griffith by decision for the WBC middleweight title. In 1979, at the Gallen Hall in Glasgow, Scotland, Jim Watt knocked out Colombian Alfredo Pitalua in the 12th round to win the WBC lightweight title. 2004, Madison Square Garden in New York, was it Wayne Braithwaite defeated Louis Azil, defending his WBC cruiserweight title. And in 2010, Argentina's Sergio Maravilla Martinez won the WBC middleweight title by defeating American Kelly Pavlich in a match held in Atlantic City, New Jersey. G'day, mate. How you doing? Yeah, all good. Yeah, that's Neil. Say g'day. Say g'day. Thanks, boss. Oh, good. See you, mate. There you go. Just wanted to say g'day. Don't you love that? Anyway, so that's what happened on this day over the journey. Now, last night we did the what was it? The In Focus, Terence Crawford, and it was again a really well watched show. We've had a lot of views since then, a lot of comments. But if you didn't see the show, what it is we match up one of the current sort of elite fighters, and we have a quick review of their career, and then match them up with 10 other great fighters from the era. And as I said last night, it was Terence Crawford, and some really good matchups that created a fair bit of discussion. I'll just quickly go over the results because I did it obviously live, my predictions, but also did Instagram polls as well. So the first one was against Aaron Pryor, the former great 140-pound champion, and I had Terence Crawford winning that fight on points, and I think 90% of people agreed with that. Next one was Hector Camacho. I thought that would have been a really tough fight. I had Terence Crawford narrowly, and I think 80% agreed with that. They said that Terence Crawford would beat Camacho. Costa Zoo. Now this one surprised me. I actually I did pick Crawford to win, but not with a lot of confidence. I thought it'd be a really, really tough fight for Terence Crawford, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Or was it 75% or something actually went to Terence Crawford to beat Costa Zoo. Next one was Julio Cesar Chavez. I actually picked Chavez to outmuscle and outwork Crawford, but 60% went for Terence Crawford. The next one was, actually I've got them on my phone here somewhere, just so I don't forget. All right, the next one was Manny Pacquiao. I actually went for Manny Pacquiao to beat Terence Crawford. This would have been at 135 to 140. I think maybe it was 140 actually. I think that's where Pacquiao was at his best, and I thought he would be too slick, too fast for Terence Crawford, so I picked him. However, 55% thought that Terence Crawford would actually beat Manny Pacquiao. Who do we have after that? We have Pernell Whitaker. Now, I thought, for me, pretty clear cut. Well, maybe not clear cut, but I thought a definitive win for me for Pernell Whitaker, and I think it was 60% agreed and went for Pernell Whitaker. Next one was Oscar De La Hoya. I went for, did I go for De La Hoya in that one, I think? And I think it was the same, that it was 60% or something went for De La Hoya to beat Terence Crawford. I think I did go for De La Hoya actually. You'd think I know who I went for, wouldn't you? Considering I spent too much time on it. But anyway, who was the next one? Oh, Roberto Duran. Now this was clear cut for me, the 135-pound version of Duran. And I also threw in up to, because he fought at 135 and then jumped to 147 for that fight with the first fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. I think that version of Duran beats Crawford quite comfortably. I think he just pretty much beats up Crawford, I think. So that one was pretty easy. Above that, you know, maybe after the first Leonard fight, it might have been a little bit different. Roberto Duran's whole sort of body shape and style and everything sort of changed, and I think Crawford would have had a chance, but at 135, and particularly that fight with Leonard, the shape he was in then and the mindset, I think he beats Terence Crawford pretty easily. Then we had, who was it? Sugar Ray Leonard. Again, clear cut for me. I thought Sugar Ray Leonard for that one, the 147-pound version, and I think it was about 70% or something of people agreed and went for Sugar Ray Leonard. Then it was Floyd Mayweather Jr., and I also picked, that was probably the hardest one. I mean, it was a really, like a real chess match that one would be, and but I still think Floyd Mayweather Jr., I think everything that Terence Crawford could do, Mayweather could just do better, and I just think Mayweather, one of the smartest fighters in history. I think he has what it takes to beat Terence Crawford, and I think it was about the same. It was about 65% or something like that voted for Floyd Mayweather. So I think I got all those. So Duran, Whitaker, Chavez, Camacho, Zoo, Leonard, De La Hoya, Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Aaron Pryor. So it's a bit of fun anyway. I really enjoy doing it. It's just, it's something to do on a Wednesday night, isn't it? But I've got to change the name though, because I've got a feeling the name sort of In Focus doesn't sort of get the attention or hits that it should on YouTube for interest. So I think most people might think it's just a sort of a delve into his career and that's sort of it, a bit of focus on him as his career. So I might change the name to incorporate the name Dream or something here, so people know that the Dream fights, maybe Dreamcatcher or something like that. I don't know, we'll work it out, but I think I need a better name. All right, just some other news. Yesterday was the news conference or the press conference for Sam Goodman. He's fighting the Mexican, what was his name? Baca. So no, I did actually look. What was his name? Hang on, I've got. Now it's got the best of me. I've got to have a look. I know his last name's Vaca. Where are we? It was all about Harry Garside yesterday. He got more attention than what Sam Goodman did. Where are we? Sam Goodman. This article, I said, you'd think I'd know, wouldn't you? I could have just went to the No Limit Facebook page, but anyway, I'm on the, what am I on? The Herald Sun website now, if I can find it there. All right, so he's fighting Cesar Vaca, 19-1-1. Now, I actually had a look at Cesar Vaca yesterday. It was the one fight he actually lost. I had a look at his record. Look, nothing to write home about. Yeah, not a renowned fighter, I don't think. I think he was ranked like number 10 just in Mexico, and about, what was he, 48, or what was he in the world? I won't look it up. I think it might have been 48 in the world or something like that, or might have even been higher. I think it was 48, number 10 in Mexico, 48 in the world. I think that's what it was. Either way, I don't know why they're sort of addressing this as a world title eliminator. George Rose, as always. Now, I really like George Rose, and I like the way he gets up there, but geez, he can be painful sometimes. He just waffles on, and I shouldn't say waffles on, but he keeps going and going and going. It's like, George, we know, mate. We know, and I know you're doing a great job. He did forget the Don King wig yesterday, though, didn't he? But look, he does his best to sell it, but it can be a little bit cringe sometimes with George. But look, he's doing great things. But trying to build this fight up as a world title eliminator, official world title eliminator, is not. Of course, it's a world title eliminator, because if you lose, you're right back in the pack. So every fight's pretty much a world title eliminator. But I watch this guy. Look, he's typical Mexican. He's tough. He comes forward, loves to rip and hook to the head and body, but look, very slow with his feet, very slow with his hands, very hittable. I just think it's a dominant 10-round decision win, unless it's 12 rounds. I can't remember what it was, but it's a dominant win for Sam Goodman. This guy, I don't think, has got anything to beat Sam Goodman. I think Sam will be too fast, too skilled, too everything for this guy. And look, the only thing he will be is extremely tough guy. So, but I think it's going to be a nice decision win for Sam. And look, it's probably not a bad thing, because he's been out of the ring for a while, so a nice 10 or 12 rounds, whatever it is probably going to be a good thing for him, just to get a good hit out, blow out the cobwebs, and get back on track. So I'm not saying I'm against the fight, because this guy will bring it. But I just think, as far as skills and everything goes, I think Sam Goodman's more than got him covered. The Harry Garside fight, look, I think Harry was pretty reserved. He spoke well. He just kept saying about trying to get back to his best and trying to enjoy boxing again. He did get a little bit of stick from, is it Ahmed Reda, the young fella? Now, if I was Harry Garside, I would say to Ahmed Reda, well, I'm not even going to consider a fight while you got a haircut like that. Get a haircut, young man, and then we might talk. That's what I'd be saying if I was Harry Garside. Probably the worst haircut in Australian boxing. Ahmed, mate, I know it's the trend at the moment. I know everyone's doing it. But just, all I'm saying is, when you get to my age, when you're in your early 50s, not cool, mate. No, you're going to look back at that haircut and go, what the hell was I thinking? So just get out now while you can. Anyway, no, he talked it up. Look, he's a good young fighter. He was trying to say that while he's spending all this money on bringing this guy in from Queensland to fight in New South Wales, I'm already here, let's go. But I think even Ahmed Reda would have to understand the way boxing works. It would be a dangerous fight for Harry Garside. They've got a bit of history, so of course No Limit are going to park that and just wait till the timing's right, and then hopefully this Ahmed Reda gets a few wins and they can sort of pump it up as another $70 pay-per-view maybe, I don't know. But he needs to learn that you got to take time for these fights to marinate. He's got to prove himself. He's a risky fight for Harry, so why the hell would Harry fight someone that's really risky and no one has any clue who he is? So it just takes time, and I think he knows that. I think Harry especially knows it, but Ahmed Reda, look, I get it. He's a young kid. He's excited. He wants to get in there and get amongst it. But he just has to, as they say, stay in his lane for the time being. So, but this is a stock standard press conference now. The thing is, Paulo Acuso, the article I read by Brendan Bradford, so sort of one of the better boxing writers here in Australia, he actually reported that Paulo Acuso would be on the card, but there was no sign of him yesterday. So I'm not sure what's going on there, whether they might announce him at a later date, I'm not sure. But he was definitely mentioned in the article by Brendan Bradford, and but as I said, did not appear at the press conference. Now, still with Aussie boxing, well, is it a big fight? It's probably going to get a lot of attention, and this is Paul Gallen. Sonny Bill Williams apparently is set for July 16th. It'll be just after State of Origin 3, I think it is, between New South Wales and Queensland. Look, I must admit, I don't really have a lot of interest in this fight. Being a Victorian, I struggle to get my head around the whole rugby league thing anyway, let alone the players going in to fight each other. I have got a lot of respect for Paul Gallen though. Went up to see him fight in Newcastle. Actually lost that fight, but unlike a lot of these other rugby players or football players or whoever they are, YouTubers, whatever they might be, I really respect the fact that he's wanted to be a boxer, not a sideshow. So I've got a lot of respect for him. He wanted 8 threes. And Sonny Bill Williams would not comply. He wanted 8 2s. So Paul Gallen sort of relented. They're going to get paid $1 million each, by the way. So I think for $1 million, you could say, all right, well, let's just do it for over 2-minute rounds. I think Paul Gallen wins that fight. Sonny Bill is big, he's strong, but a little bit cumbersome for me. Not overly skilled. I know we got the knockout of Barry Hall, but was then knocked out by Mark Hunt, who Paul Gallen actually beat, which I thought at the time was a little bit underrated. I know Mark Hunt, coming off the MMA circuit, might not have been exactly 100% ready for boxing, but I thought Paul Gallen, same thing. He's a rugby player, and he's only been a pro for a couple of years. So I thought that was a great performance from Paul. And I think he gets the job done over Sonny Bill Williams. I think he just out-muscles him and outworks him and gets the win. So that's about as much as I'm going to spend on this, by the way. Not really my cup of tea, as you can imagine. All right, the WBC Grand Prix is this weekend. It is the featherweights, and we have in action, who is it? It's the featherweights, as I said. So it's really good. They've actually, rather than having red and blue corners, they're going to have green and gold corners. They're going to dress them all up in the WBC gear. So one will be in green, one will be in gold. And this weekend, it is, who's representing Australia? Where is it? I did see it. Zoo Runke. Now, I have no idea who Zoo Runke is, but he's going to fight Yoni Valverde from France. So good luck to them. I don't know, is it a boy or girl? I'm assuming it's a boy or a male. Can't tell these days. Come on, buddy. This way. Now, I'm not quite sure the whole concept of the Grand Prix. Look, anything that gives young boxers an opportunity, I'm all for. But I'm not quite sure what it exactly does. I mean, they're sort of billing it as world titles, but are they world titles for inexperienced fighters or young fighters? I'm just not really across exactly what it's going to achieve, because all the fighters in it are either inexperienced or young or novices or whatever it might be. Dylan Biggs is in there for Australia as well. He's obviously had some experience, but I'm pretty sure there must be sort of criteria under a certain amount of fights maybe. I'm not exactly across it. But either way, as I said, if it highlights some of the up-and-comers and gives young fighters or inexperienced fighters an opportunity, then I'm all for it. And that'll be on DAZN over the weekend. I think there's 4 sessions, I think there is, of the featherweight. So if you've got DAZN, check that out. I'll give it a watch. It is Easter weekend, which makes it a little bit hard with everything going on, but we'll give it a watch anyway. Now, speaking of pay-per-views on DAZN, I'm talking about Canelo, the Canelo and Garcia / Haney cards have been made available to buy now. You can buy them individually, I think. I'm just talking Australian dollars. I think it was about $70 or $80 Australian or something like that. Or no, sorry, individually. Sorry, what were they? About 40 or 50 bucks anyway. I've bought the 2 cards as a package. Cost me $63, which I think is pretty good value for both cards. So that'll be May 2nd and May 4th. That'll be. I'm not sure what's happening with the in-away card. That'll probably be on ESPN or something like that. I gather it's not part of it, but another dog over there. Plenty of dogs out this morning. Actually, it must be the day for it. But yeah, so $63 if you're thinking about getting both fights. That is the Garcia Haney card from Times Square it'll be Saturday night. Saturday morning our time. I think it starts at about 7:30 in the morning. Then Canelo on Sunday morning, which is on at about 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, Saudi Arabian time. So good luck with that, Canelo and William Skull over there. But guys, look, that's going to probably do it for today. I hope you have a awesome day. Come on, man. And I've got to get back on the road this morning, head to work and get organised for the weekend for Easter, and then hopefully enjoy a few days off back home and the thousands of people that will descend on our little part of the world again. But guys, have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.